Hello and welcome, Ethos teachers. I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for taking a few minutes to join me for this quick walkthrough of our teacher invoice system developed by Paul McGuire. The goal of the system is to make billing and payments clear, accurate, and as simple as possible. We want it to be easy for you so you can spend more time focused on your students and less time on paperwork. This invoice tool allows you to quickly calculate your class and program fees each month. You'll just complete the required fields, submit your invoice, and once it's approved, payments will be processed within 5 business days. Let's take a few minutes to walk through the layout together so you'll know exactly what to expect. At the very top of the invoice, you'll see a blue section. This is the header. It includes your name and contact information, the invoice month, and a calendar with blue Ethos shields showing which days Ethos was in session. This also serves as your invoice submission window for that month. Please note the blue section is view only. You won't need to do any edits. It's just for your reference. Right below the header is a white section. You'll see a field called Billed To. This just means the invoice is being submitted to Ethos. The Ethos contact information is already filled in for you. On the right-hand side of the section, you'll also see your invoice number, the invoice submit by date, and invoices are reviewed on or after this date, so there's no need to submit early, and a payment initiate date. This will be filled in by Ethos once payment is being processed. Just like the blue section, this white section is also view only. No changes are needed here, just review the information. This next section is the heart of the invoice, where you'll enter class and student details. The first column is the number of class days in the month. Even if you had a substitute or were absent, you will still include all scheduled class days. As a reminder, teachers are responsible for paying their own substitutes. Due to limited resources, Ethos does not track substitute payments on your behalf. So again, the first column, which is labeled quantity, represents the days that Ethos met. The next column is the course name, and this has a drop-down menu where you can select your class. Once you select your class, the hours and tier fields will automatically update, which also updates the price, reflecting the price per student per hour. So a tier 1 1-hour class, the student is $12.50 per hour, and then a tier 2 class, the student is $15 per hour. In the student column, input the number of enrolled students according to the learning management system. So importantly to note, this number should reflect the enrolled students, not daily attendance. We calculate payments based on enrollment, not presence. Let's walk through an example together so you can see exactly how it works. This is an invoice for Jane Doe. Together, we're going to complete Jane Doe's teacher invoice for the month of September by first navigating to the billing section. First, we're going to select the class American History, beginning to the Gold Rush. From the drop-down menu, this class meets once a week on Tuesdays, and in September, there are 5 Tuesdays per the calendar at the top of this invoice. So in the quantity column, enter 5. Then in the student count column, enter 6. We're going to do 6 for the number of students enrolled. Now let's do another class. I'm going to select IEW from the drop-down menu. This class meets twice a week, and in September, it met 11 times. So in the quantity column, I'm going to enter 11, and for the student count, let's say she has 7 enrolled students. Let's take it a step further and talk about what to do if a student joins your class mid-month. Let's say Jane also teaches Apologia Anatomy on Thursdays, and a new student named Frank enrolled on September 15th. This means on September 4th and 11th, she had 10 students. On September 18th and 25th, she had 11 students. To show this clearly on the invoice, the best method is to enter the class twice in the billing section. Here's how. For the first 2 Thursdays of the month, in the quantity column, enter 2. In the class drop-down, select Apologia Anatomy. In the student count, I'm going to enter 10. Now, I'm going to repeat that in the row below and put 2 in the quantity column for the last 2 Thursdays. Then select Apologia Anatomy again. This time, enter 11 in the student count. since Frank had joined the class mid-month. This is the clearest way to reflect a change in enrollment within the same month and ensures the payment is calculated accurately. Jane Doe would repeat this process for each class she teaches. And as you can see, the math is done automatically for you. You'll also notice the column labeled Ethos shows the total amount of program fees being withheld. And the column labeled Balance is the amount owed to you, the independent contractor. Once you've reviewed everything and confirmed it's accurate, scroll down to this box labeled Checkbox to submit for approval and payment. Clicking this box sends a timestamp email to me letting me know your invoice is ready for review. There's no save button, so once you've checked that box, your invoice is submitted and ready to go, and you're free to close this window. There are a couple of scenarios of students dropping a class that we're going to briefly discuss, and I want to make sure it's clear. If a student drops before class starts, but after paying the August 5th tuition payment, which is considered a non-refundable deposit, you'll use the dropped student line item, which will be located toward the bottom of the billing section and marked in red. Since only a couple of teachers were impacted with this last year, we will add that line item to your billing section if that scenario applies to you. I'll let you know and reach out to you. If you do not hear from me and you have a record that a student dropped after August 5th, but before the class instruction began, please reach out to me. Here's what to do on the drop student line item. Quantity is always 1. Select the class. Enter the student count as 1. The system will fill in the price, which is the tuition installment amount paid on August 5th. This correlates to about 3 days of class instruction. For a Tier 1 class, it's $40, and Tier 2 is $48. Basically, you'll be paid for about 3 days for that drop student. Another scenario is if a student drops after the first day of class instruction, and the family is still responsible for paying the full 16-week tuition per our parent-student handbook. Yet if you choose, unless you choose to waive the remaining balance. If you do not waive the remaining balance, you will need to include that student in your head count and leave a note in the teacher notes section located at the bottom of the invoice. A notation on your invoice will help remind me of that drop student, since the LMS will reflect a lower head count because that student will be dropped again in the system. So in the teacher notes section, please make sure to include the student's name, the class they dropped from, and any other relevant details. You will need to do this for each invoice till the end of the semester. And since families pay in installments, teacher payments follow the same structure. All teacher payments are issued by check and will be available for pickup at the front desk in the main lobby. You'll be asked to sign for your check confirming receipt when you pick it up. Thank you so much for your time, your focus today, and especially your patience as we continue refining this process. Your cooperation keeps everything running smoothly and ensures timely and accurate payments. Please, if you ever have a question, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help. Let's make it a great year, and thank you again for being such a vital part of the Ethos community.